Welcome to the Solution Station podcast. I'm your host, Nonofo Jesse. Today we will be talking about the brand realization, rather the personal brand realization, the ins and outs of personal branding. And for this discussion, we have Penyo Matamiko, who will be joining me. Ms. Penyo, most welcome.
Hi, Nonofo. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Awesome. So, Penyo, personal branding. Personal branding has been making its rounds for some time now. And, people have some mixed feelings about this topic, this subject. And really, I want us to have a conversation around the subject. I want to learn what your experience has been and for us to deliberate and see how we are able to also help our listeners, people who may be interested in building their own brands or people who may be shying away from this topic of personal branding, because people have mixed feelings about these, or rather this topic. And we really want to shed light into it. Is it a thing? Is it not a thing? Or is it really worth the investment, the time, the effort, and the like? So that is what we'll be delving into. So Penyo, what is your take on personal branding?
Yeah, so wow, it's really been a journey. And I think let's just start it from there, that personal branding, or should I say building a personal brand, is a journey. It's an intentional journey that actually needs you to have a deep understanding of who you are at the core. Because in essence, it goes back to, okay, you want to be known for XYZ. Maybe you want to be known for being a media personality, or someone in maybe in art or whatever. But at the end of the day, it goes back to, who are you though as a person? What are your values? What do you believe in? And that on its own is such a journey, being able to sit down with yourself and have a better understanding of who you are, and having a better appreciation, so that even when you put yourself out there, even when you for lack of a better word, I guess, sell yourself in terms of trying to, who you are, you're able to communicate it from a very authentic place, from a place of, this is who I am as paying you, this is who I am, as Nonofo, and people can connect with you from that space. Because you find that a lot of times we look at a lot of people out there and we want to be like other people, and it's not sustainable to build your brand from that place. But if you build it from having a good understanding of who you are, and you set that foundation, then you're able to really, build something strong, and build something where you don't even need to struggle to be anyone else, because it's like, oh, this is who I am, and now people can connect with you on that level. So yes, so that's more of the foundation of it. There's definitely more to it as you build, but that is the basic foundation of where I believe starting your brand really starts from. So yes. That's it.
Awesome. So for you, personal branding is a thing.
Yes, definitely it is. It is a thing. We definitely need to. We need to build our personal brands. Yes, we need to.
So, yes. One of the things that I often come across when dealing or even just talking about the subject of personal branding is how some people have reservations around just the topic itself, that the premise of it sometimes is a bit offish, because you are self-promoting, you are putting yourself in this light, and for some people that is a huge turn off. But what has been your own experience in terms of navigating the the I don't know if I would call it pressure around building or even realizing, because here's the thing about personal branding. There is a brand that you already inherently carry by the mere fact that you are you, because people already know you for something or for some things. Now it's entirely upon you to then curate, because it's not everything about you that's known that really works for you, because we really want to then make that distinction in terms of also helping people to know how then do you go about building a brand that is meaningful for you, because it's not just about being known, but it is being known so that you are able to derive something from that being known, right? Because yeah, each and every one of us, we know each other, right? We know each other.
Yeah.
But is it helpful for me just to be known by Penyo and by Masejo and by whoever? Or is this a very strategic process in that in me being known, I need to be known by particular people or a particular audience or a particular market, and all the like. So I wanted us to really narrow down and just talk to those nuances of personal branding, because yes, the subject is gigantic, but in terms of people who have reservations around what I don't want people to know me. What should people know me for? Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? People who have reservations on exploring their brands or exploring on intentionally building their brands, their personal brands.
Yes. So, you know what? Funny enough, I also used to be so hesitant about that aspect of things, because I think it was because I had a similar mindset to like what you talked about when you said you feel like you're self-promoting. But I feel like I changed my perspective. I don't think it's necessarily you self-promoting. It's more of, the people that you would love to have an impact on. Like, the people that you'd love to serve. And it's more of a thing of how will the right people find you? How will your people find you if you don't even, we don't see you, your visibility is not there. And I think it's even just with me having connected with you, it was because I saw you, I saw what you stand for, and it was now a thing of, I found someone who I'd love to partner with in different ways. So for me, it's more of that for me to say, you might be shying away, but your people are literally waiting for you to be clear about who you are, because for me, for instance, I know I've always had a passion for business development, but even with that, I've had like diverse passions. But I knew that, okay, for the people I would love to impact, I have to be more intentional on building, the right brand centered around, business development, and also growing in media as well, or learning those types of skills, so that even when I communicate with people, it's easy for them to say, if I need someone in this space, I know who I can trust, I know who I can go to, type of thing. So it has so much benefits to it. And even with you, as you're more focused on the particular areas you really want to build on, you you can even develop the right skills for that specific area, because now you're like, okay, now I know I would really love to, for example, for me, right? I'm like, oh, okay, I really want to build a, a brand that is centered around, business development, because why? This is the area I want to be of service. This is the area I want to impact people. Or I'll be like, oh, also on top of that, just learning different aspects of media, content creation, developing skills there, so that if tomorrow, I've built the right brand, I've even just communicating with people on a consistent basis and being able to communicate that, oh, this is where I am, then you can even get the right guidance, because you know that this is kind of where your brand is centered around. So it's really more of that. It's nothing to shy away from. Just think about it as a way to reach your people and your people to find you, to be of just greater impact. Yes, it's more of that.
I love that. So for people to be able to, all right, for people to be able to locate you, in an interested audience to be able to identify you and locate you, for you to be able to serve and make the kind of impact that you want to make. So that is what a personal brand helps you with. Awesome. Nicely said. Nicely said. In the journey of building a personal brand, some people may see it as a very cumbersome journey. Do this, do that, show up, speak here. All those things may be overwhelming for some people. What has been your experience in trying to build your brand in a way that really serves you?
Oh, that's a great question. So I think for me, as I mentioned, is going back to the drawing board and just literally being like, okay, I may have ABCD passion, but this is my focus area, or this is where I actually want to start. Because I used to be that person who'd vote for every event that is happening, if it's women in tech, if it's, this and that, even though I know by that time, yes, I do know, yes, we're in an age of having to understand a lot more of what's happening, but I had to learn that you don't need to go to every event, especially if you have a focus area. If right now I'm telling myself that, okay, I want to grow in business development, I want to grow in even just learning aspects of content creation and media, I can then focus in terms of where I need to channel my efforts, who I even need to meet up with, because it used to, now my transition is more of like, okay, who can I talk to about business development? Who can I reach out to? As we've also had conversations as well, where I was like, I want to be more intentional and ask direct questions on how I can grow in this area. So that way it's easier that way. You don't move with the wind. If people are saying, oh, there's an event there, you're not, all over. And even just to my people who have multiple passions, I do feel like just should I say a bonus advice, everything has its time. You don't need to necessarily fulfill everything at the same time, so you find that there are certain things where you build it as a foundation. you build it as a foundation to say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and then it will feed into this, and then it will feed into that. So at least if you have that focus area when you start off, you don't necessarily need to be all over with everything. You know what it is you're showing up for, and you even meet the right people because you're in a space of alignment. You're in a space of, okay, this is where I want to grow. So yes, so it's in essence, focus on one area, and then pour your efforts in that one area.
Yeah. So because that's a good one. That's a good point that you brought there, because yeah, there's so many facets to us. There's so many things that we like. There's so many parts in our lives that would really want to make known and to share and the like. How then do we get to decide on what it is that is shared? Because at the end of the day, we said what? One of the things that we said about personal branding is people getting to know me, or rather, what is it that I'm known for? Now, is it necessary for everything about me to be known? So how have you navigated that?
Ooh, can I just say I'm still navigating? I'm still navigating.
Like that.
So, so I'm not going to lie. We're honestly just people navigating every day. So I'm still navigating that, but I've come a long way because I think with me, personally, it's been more of being able to identify my core strengths as well, where I believe, okay, this is my core strength. Going back to what we originally talked about, right? When we said, who are we? Building your personal brand from who you are at the core, and also where you'd like to make your best impact or your most impact. So for me, it went back to that to say, oh, okay, this is where I believe I could actually really grow, like the core of where I could really grow, and the core as to where I would love to make impact. And that way I was like, okay, this could be my foundation based on where I would like to start, even just in general. Okay, for me, business development, I guess for me makes a lot of sense because I know that it's an area of, it's a foundation area just personally for me, because you learn there's a lot you learn from it, even the ability to develop ideas, the ability to understand the market. So it's a lot of the foundational things I believe long term will be able to pour into other areas of my life. So for me, it's more of that, just finding that foundational or a core foundational passion that can actually feed into the next thing, if that makes sense. So, just to also give more context, before I actually started my business development journey, I had a deep, and I still do, I have a deep passion for community service and just being able to give back and, see what kind of projects I can do for the community. But I also thought at that time it was not sustainable. And I knew that, okay, the actual step that I need to take is grow in business development, because this is an area that I know, I've also studied, but it's also a foundational area. I know that the more I grow in it, I can have more impact. So and it can also give me the resources I need to invest in other things long term. So that was, should I say, more of the heart behind it, to say, oh, okay, this is sort of how I can build towards this and this and this. So you find that a lot of us, or a lot of people, and I've had conversations with different people who have multiple gifts and talents, as you mentioned, that these different parts of us, but even those parts of us, they need us to invest in them. So why not have something that is foundational, that you know that, okay, if I have this as a foundation, I can use it as a space where I can then invest in this, I can invest in my other passion, I can, slowly but surely. So it's really more of that. That's why I mentioned that you don't necessarily have to do everything at the same time, but at least you have something that is core, foundational, that can then feed into other stuff, long term. So yes.
There's a concept that they call skill stacking. So perhaps I'd also add a twist to personal brand stacking. Personal brand stacking in the sense that
okay.
you start your building your brand on one thing, and then that thing progresses into the other things, because the core of what it is that you're doing still acts as a foundation for the other things that you would actually want to get into, right? So you don't have to now overwhelm yourself in trying to build in the different facets all at the same time. You can do it in different time intervals, or rather different phases of your journey, so that you are able to also be consistent. Because sometimes if you do get overwhelmed, the likelihood of burnout, the likelihood of a lack of consistency may arise. So meaning that also may jeopardize the journey that you are trying to embark on. So I think from personal experience, that is something that I would also encourage us. Just stack it, right? You know that you take time for you to put one thing on top of another. You need precision. You need to put in the effort, the time, and the like. So I would encourage people to look at it from that standpoint. Also to know that it's not everything that I want to do now. Other things can be done in the near future. The only thing that you would need to put in place is that action plan, so that nothing falls through the cracks. That, okay, fine, in the short term, in the midterm, in the long term, what would I like to do? Because all of these then will culminate, to me having this fully fledged personal brand that I'm working towards building. So perhaps that's a thing that we could explore, personal brand stacking. So
I love it.
Yeah, hey, because I think it would relieve other people who are thinking that they need to do everything all at once. As I said earlier, just the mere thought of a person having to speak, that might not be an area of interest or even choice, right? But a person can write. From writing, then you are able to build the speaking on the writing, because now you're speaking to what it is that you have written. There are other people who just prefer to speak without necessarily writing, right? So you find that you are able to then have a base. So once you have identified a base that works for you, then you are able to start building other things that help to actually push the brand in terms of visibility out there. Because at the end of the day, I believe everyone has something to offer. And the thing about everyone having something to offer, there is always someone who is able to listen to you, or who's able to hear your perspective or things from your perspective. A person who's able to relate with things from a way that you would deliver. So that's why it's very important for people never to sleep on themselves. And that is why building a personal brand for me is important, because it's really not necessarily to be known just for the sake of being known. There are people who are not able to hear people who are in the same industry as you are, or people who talk about the same thing that you talk about, but they're not able to connect, they're not able to learn from those people. So sometimes you find that by you being you and having your own experiences, having the exposure that you have, having your background, there are people who are going to be able to relate with you. So as you build your brand, as you share your own understanding, your own perspective on the issue, your own thoughts, opinions, and views on that subject, there will be definitely people who would resonate with how you deliver on whatever it is that you deliver on, or whatever it is that you share on. So that's why I encourage people to not shy away from personal branding.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Say
You know, I
yes.
actually,
Hmm?
yeah, oh, so you can go. Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So I think as you were speaking, something just, came through. I just thought about how another challenge also that is probably also there is I guess the pressure that we normally find also as being, a young person who's exposed to so many different things. So you find that you see your peer that they're in this space, or you see someone in this space, and that sort of becomes an area of confusion as well, because now you're seeing, okay, oh, this looks interesting. So now we're moving from a place of externally, Steve, we're moving from a place of, hey, this is what this person is doing, this is what seems hot, this is what seems interesting, oh, this is how people are traveling, so then we kind of move in that direction of things as well. So it was just a food for thought to just say, it's just coming back to just that place of building from a foundation, building from, just starting and building from an authentic place. So yes, I moved from off the tangent a little bit, but it's something that I just thought about. I was like, sometimes maybe that's also the reason. Are we also putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure because of what we're looking at with different people? We feel like, oh, this person is like this, so now we can move from an authentic place. So yeah, I'd actually love to hear your thoughts from that as well.
I love that trail of thought, because there's so much that we see, we come across, and and you find that the temptation is really, yes, for some people to mimic what other people are doing. But one of the things that I've come to realize is that anything that you do from a place of lack of rootedness in who you are going to struggle with maintaining and sustaining it. So there's no problem with being inspired by other people, but it's very important to know that the reason why other people are able to do whatever it is that they're able to do with so much ease, well, it looks like it's with so much ease, but it's because it comes from a place where they are pulling from how they are wired, how they naturally operate and function. So it's a no-brainer for them. It's nothing that they are doing which is out of the ordinary, right? But for a person who now goes on to try to mimic that is going to be something that is not natural. it's not ordinary for you. So which means also in terms of the effort that needs to be channeled in that, in terms of the brain power, so your mental bandwidth can only accommodate what you have been naturally made to do, what comes naturally for you, and so forth. So I encourage people to really look at building that personal brand from a place of understanding and knowing self. I may have another person as an inspiration, but me knowing that there's only one of them and there's one of me, I can only give who I am, and I can only build and refine who I am, because that makes it easier even for you to accept your own journey and to own it. Because here's the thing also about personal branding, I think that is worth noting, that we want to be known for the sole purpose of expressing or giving expression to the value that we're able to bring to the marketplace, so that we are able to receive commercial reward or value in exchange for what it is that we are bringing, right? So the emphasis of personal branding is not just to be known. It is to be known with the sole reason that you are able to derive also a commercial reward. Because as I said earlier, that we're all known, but our interactions or the people who know us, are they able to lead to a place where we get the commercial reward? Not necessarily. So we want to make impact in such a way that our impact and our service also creates the opportunities for us that we would like, and we are able to derive value in the form of a reward for the value that we are adding to the people that are receiving and deriving value from us. So that's my take. So I would really encourage people to build brands that are really based on them. And what it is that they do best. And that is a journey, because we continually work on refining ourselves. We continue to work on improving ourselves and doing better as we move along the life journey. So the personal branding journey is a progressive journey.
I love that.
Yes.
The personal branding journey is a progressive journey. Definitely. Yes.
Yes. So what I also wanted to know is, how has the journey been? Has it been an easy one, or has it been a wow journey in the sense? In the sense of it being, you know what? I really need to put in the time and resources to actually get a hang of what this thing is. So what has your journey been like in that regard?
It's been a journey. It's been a while. So yeah, so I think I underestimated it, because there's so much that you actually need to put behind the scenes, because I realized, like as you mentioned, that you see someone showing up and doing something so effortlessly, but it's because behind the scenes there was so much effort that was put into it. I think a great example is athletes. If you can just, research or just read about how athletes, train before they actually get into, the track, there's so much that happens behind the scenes. And so that means the moment that they actually run that race, it's effortless, it's smooth. So yes, there's a lot you actually have to put into it, behind the scenes. There's a lot you need to learn. There's a lot you need to actually be intentional about to actually be great at it, to be a master in it. I've actually been reading 5 a.m. Club. If anybody has not read that book, please do, by Robin Sharma. And I think he just speaks on your ability to just be a master in the things that you do, and having mastery. And that is something that it takes time and it takes intention. And a lot of times you don't want to put in that effort or the work that it takes to be able to effortlessly do something. So I think in conclusion, it's been a journey. It hasn't been easy as I expected it to be, but we are still going on. We're being resilient. We don't give up.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like that analogy. I really like that. There was a performance coach, sports performance coach that we once shared a stage with, and there was something that he shared. I would have really loved to share it here. It's not that vivid in my head, but you know what? He mentioned something that really blew my mind in terms of how you progress from one stage to another in terms of your ability to build your performance momentum and be able to sustain it, over time, because it's not just a one day thing, a once-off thing, but it is a continuous process of building one thing that then anchors other things that you are going to do in the process. So that is why sometimes you find that other people perform today, tomorrow it's a miss, and the consistency is not satisfactory, it's not there. And then that's when I realized, sometimes looking at things at face value is what causes us to lose out on being able to be effective and efficient in certain things that we have, or rather we have started or we want to actually do. So you find that there is a lot that needs to go into the things that we actually want to build, because that's the thing with the building. There's a foundation, there's the structure, there's the roof, and all these things are done at different time intervals. Similarly, like with the personal brand, because sometimes we would want to just do it all at once and it doesn't work out, and then the issue is like, this thing doesn't work, but what has been the work that has been put into it to ensure that it is both sustainable and impactful. So I really like that sports analogy. I really like it. So now, Ms. Penyo, for our parting shorts, what would you encourage a person who is looking to start building their personal brand to consider, to look into, and to explore as they desire to get on this journey?
The first thing is get ready to get on a journey and be open to the fact that it is a journey and that needs the right foundation. I think if you've just been listening in throughout, the theme of things has been, being able to put in, the work it takes to build the right foundation. And the right foundation goes back to take the time to understand who you are at the core, not what is happening, not what is trending, not what your friend is saying about you, not what but just taking the time to sit. And yes, I do know that the people who can actually help you on that journey, right? Maybe that friend as well. As much as I'm saying don't look externally, but that's coming from the fact that, as we mentioned earlier, that don't try too hard to mimic what's happening externally, but just go on an internal journey to understand the core of who you are, and then from there you can build something that is as Nonofo mentioned, that is sustainable as well. You can build something where you don't need to try too hard, and it's coming from the core of your being. It's coming from an authentic place. And seek for expert advice, seek for for the likes of Nonofo, who are coaches who can actually assist you on that journey. If you feel like it's something that you can't do on your own, you can definitely seek for such assistance, because there are times where it may seem difficult to see, where do I start? But those are the main things, just to go back to the core of it, build a strong foundation, and have a focus area as well, as to, okay, this is where I'm starting off in terms of where you want to be of service. Remember, it's not just about being known, and knowing that visibility gives you the platform to reach your audience, the people that you are meant to impact, and get the right advice, and reach the greatest heights, and be a master at the actual focus area that you invest in. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Ms. Penyo. It's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. And I believe that our listeners will be able to glean some nuggets, some insights from our conversation, and we will get to hear from them. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comment section, and we will be sure to engage from there. Penyo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I had the best time.